Families who've been affected by failings in maternity care at an NHS trust in Nottingham say they expect action against those responsible for the harm done to hundreds of babies and mothers. On the first anniversary of an independent review into the failings at Nottingham University Hospitals Trust, the head of that trust says improvements will be made, whatever the cost, whatever it takes. Earlier on GB News, the chair of the inquiry, Donna Ockenden, told us about the team that's been carrying out the review.
My team, you will find everyone that you would have in a large maternity team. So obstetricians, neonatologists, midwives, physicians, anaesthetists and so on. And every case is looked at independently by my team and by whoever in the team is needed. They're all hugely experienced and of course they have no links with Nottingham. The learning is happening as we speak right now.
Well, that was Donna Ockenden updating us on how the inquiry is progressing. But let's speak now to Felicity Benyon, who's experienced the failings of the Trust at first hand. Felicity, thank you very much indeed for joining us. I know it must be a difficult tale to tell, but I gather you had to undergo quite a sort of emergency C-section procedure which went badly wrong.
No, it was a planned C-section.
Oh, right, OK.
Planned. I'd been at the campus for nearly 12 weeks, so plenty of time to plan and make sure things went to plan. And it did go horribly wrong, yes.
And as a result of that, without obviously wishing to upset people too much, you lost your bladder, and obviously that's going to affect your life from now on.
Yeah, they removed almost the whole of my bladder without even realising they'd done it. And since then, they had to do a emergency surgery to fit me with a permanent urostomy stoma. So I now have a stoma bag for the rest of my life. Right.
So that's where the emergency surgery came in. Apologies for my confusion. How has it left you? A stupid question, I know, but clearly, you know, with all the statistics, this affects people directly.
Oh, yeah, it's affected a huge part of my life. I mean, on a day-to-day basis, I can't get away from physically seeing the bag and the trauma they've caused me and dealing with it. Obviously, stoma bags are a great help to people who have original, health conditions, and it can be a massive improvement for them. For me, I was perfectly healthy. So it's given a negative impact upon my life, having to learn to live with the bag and the medical side effects from that, from having the surgery in the bag. On top of that, emotionally and mentally, it's a difficult thing to deal with the trauma they've caused me and the traumatic birth that I had with my son.
What did the hospital or the trust say to you? What was their explanation?
Initially, it was that they were going to do a serious untoward investigation that they instigated themselves on the day, and that they were going to look into it and find out exactly what happened and let me know. What actually happened was they downgraded that to the fictitious high-level investigation that NUH had brought in. So my case was never investigated thoroughly and properly and was never reported nationally as it should have been.
And certainly this is something that the review has put right, not just for you, but for others as well.
Yeah, the review is kind of highlighting the internal reviews are done properly. Personally, I believe they should be done externally anyway, not by a friendly doctor down the corridor. But yes, Donna and her team are working closely to make sure that no more high-level investigations are done and that only serious, untoward or the other appropriate type of investigation is completed when needed.
Felicity, I'm just going to read for everyone what we've heard from the Trust themselves. They've told us we'd like to reiterate our apology to Ms Benyon for the harm that was caused during her complex surgery. Since 2016, we've completely transformed the way that we deal with this rare but serious pregnancy complication, working with teams of specialists across the region to diagnose and care for women, close quotes. Is that enough, do you think?
It's a start, and it's hopefully what they're actually doing. But as me and the other families have all reiterated, it's accountability, because there's been no accountability for what was done to me at all, not even retraining. And for none of the other cases that we're aware of, we've got a bad culture at NUH and that's not going to change through anything other than weeding out the bad eggs.
Yeah, so have you managed to sort of come together with your shared experience and be able to support each other? Because, of course, it's come at a very difficult time for all of you as mums with new babies.
Yeah, we did find each other in 2021. We all started finding each other and become the core group of families. And this is how we've got so far. This is how we've managed to get the initial review and then kibosh that and speak to Sajid Javid and secure Donna, which has been absolutely a huge achievement to be able to secure Donna Ockenden, to know that we're getting someone who is so knowledgeable and has so much power behind them to do a truly independent review into all of our cases and find out exactly what has gone wrong and help the trust move forward on how they can improve to make it a safe trust for mums to go to.
Well, Felicity, thank you very much indeed for joining us here on GB News and sharing your story and, of course, what's happening as a result of it. Thanks for your time. But let's also add what we've heard from Anthony May, who's the new Chief Executive of Nottingham University Hospital Trust. Now, he said, "We have caused unacceptable distress and pain due to our failings, and for that I offer my unreserved apologies. I will do all I can to support the review, and my door is open to any woman or family who wants to share their story and concerns with me."